inviting me here today to join your celebration and remembrance of Metropolitan Dr. Thomas Macarius of blessed memory. I come here as Bishop of Hexham and Newcastle to assure you of my prayers and support, and that of the whole Catholic community here in the North East. I'm delighted to be here and regret I can only stay a very short time. But I have to go from this celebration here to continue my own parish pastoral visitations. I warmly greet Father Happy Jacob, the Mayor of the City of Sunderland, members of the St. Thomas Indian Orthodox Church, and other distinguished guests. Since the formation of the Sunderland Orthodox Fellowship in 2004, we have been pleased to offer you a spiritual home in St. Joseph's Church, where I know you meet each month for Holy Mass and your major feast days, and are able to gather afterwards in the new Parish Centre for Fellowship. I know that there are close bonds of faith and friendship between Father Happy Jacob and the Indian Orthodox Church, and Father Michael and the parishioners of St. Joseph's. And I pray that these bonds will continue to deepen and grow. I'm delighted also to see you present here in our Catholic School of St. Aileen for your lunch, public meeting and cultural programme. The Catholic Church and the Indian Orthodox Church have strong bonds of love, faith and fellowship. And I pray that together we may bear witness to the love of God in our world, and especially to the people of the North East in the Catholic Church. In the Catholic Church, we are currently celebrating the Year of Faith, inaugurated by Pope Benedict last October. I pray that as people of faith, we will walk the path of discipleship together as we bear witness to all that is noble, good and true in our Christian faith. I wish you every blessing for your celebrations today, and I commend you all to the prayers of the Apostle St. Thomas. My prayer for you today is the prayer of St. Paul. Out of his infinite glory, may he give you the power through his Spirit for your hidden selves to grow strong, so that Christ may live in your hearts through faith. Then planted in love and built on love, you will with all the saints have the strength to grasp the length and breadth, the height and the depth, until knowing the love of God which is beyond all knowledge, you are filled with the utter fullness of God. Glory to him whose power working in us can do infinitely more than we can ask or imagine. Amen.
Amen.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Are we having a good day?
Yes.
The microphone isn't. It's feeling better now. Is there a doctor in the house?
There is, behind you.
I must admit, I was most impressed when at the beginning of the meeting we were told that you only had your first gathering less than 10 years ago. Less than 10 years ago you had your first meeting in 2004. And I can only guess that there are what, 200-300 people here today? Look at how your community has grown and flourished and thrived. You should be delighted with how far you have come in a very short time. Just out of curiosity, because I'm here as the Mayor of Sunderland. Just stick your hands up, and it's kids as well. Who actually lives in Sunderland? Ooh, who lives somewhere else? What do we reckon? Where do we think we have the majority there, Father? Could be a close run thing. All right. But do you enjoy being here in the North East?
Yeah.
Do we make you feel welcome?
Yeah.
Are you going to stay? I like the sound of that. As you heard, I'm also the chair, well, I used to be the vice chair of the governors, and I've been a governor here now for 16 years. And in all those 16 years, I have to say thanks to the ladies who are in the room today, I've never seen a more colourful group of people sitting in this hall. So well done, you all look very glamorous. And But I was saying to some of the young boys at the start of the day, how is it that the ladies are allowed to look so glamorous and the boys look so boring in these shirts and jeans? Guys, you need to do something about it. That's the challenge. Next year we want yellow trousers, red shirts. But it's a real pleasure to be here today. It's fantastic to see so many of you gathered here today. I am convinced that your community will go from strength to strength. We've already heard from your own faith leader. You've already heard from the other faith leaders who are supporting you, and I'm delighted to do so. As a local councillor and as mayor of this city, I only have to thank you for bringing all the skills and talents and abilities that you have to our city, and long may you continue to do so. Let's have a wonderful day.
I noticed on the sheet it says I have to give a felicitation. That's not a word we see very much now, but I think it comes from the Latin word to be happy. And I can see very happy faces here today, and I'm very happy to be here also. Father Happy Jacob said that he dreads opening his emails, not as much as I dread opening mine, I can tell you. I've never been in a parish or a community quite like it, trying to juggle all these different communities and groups, you know, in St. Joseph's with our own Catholic Indian community, the Indian Orthodox community, the Filipino community, El Shaddai, our local English community, all wanting to use churches and halls. And I sometimes think, what am I going to do? Well, it's a good job I have 2 churches and 2 parish centres, because they've been so well used by all of our communities over the last few weeks, and long may that continue. I think we must be the only church in the diocese that changes its name once a month. We cease to be St. Joseph's Church and we become St. Thomas's Church for the first Saturday in each month. And there's a great blessing and richness in that. We are delighted that the St. Thomas Indian Orthodox community use our parish church for worship. That's been happening, I think this is the 8th year now, since 2004. And it's been wonderful. I've seen, even over the last 3.5 years, that go from strength to strength. And we have also our new parish centre now, which is being used for fellowship afterwards. And it's lovely to be able to provide you that spiritual home. And I can assure you that you will always be welcome. And we consider you to be a part of our community, not a separate community at all. Both of our ancient churches, we have common roots, both of our churches. We are both rooted in the teaching of the apostles, and there is far more which unites us than divides us, and we should always remember that. But I just pray that you have a wonderful celebration. It's been a great lunch, and the church was great this morning. The Filipino community were waiting to get in afterwards, so that shows what it's like. We'll go back for Mass later this evening, but thank you for inviting me. You can always be assured of a home with us in St. Joseph's and a very warm welcome, and I just pray that through the intercession of St. Thomas we continue to grow together in faith and in love. Thank you.